Hi, my name is Ann Carollo and I am the owner of Gulf Coast Dance Center. And today I'm going to answer one of those frequently asked questions. So the other night in class, one of my adults came to me and asked, how can I make my toes look like yours? Meaning, how do I not curl? How do I get that extra flexibility? So today we're going to go over how to point through your toes and not curl your toes and improve the flexibility through the foot. Today, we're going to talk about how to point correctly through our feet, and this is why. So in our class, at least my class, we always start with a foot progression. And that means that the foot is peeling off the ground, pointing and coming back down. So the question that I got asked was, how does my foot look like this while hers does not? So that's one way that we can practice, and we'll get into that. And another reason why you want to learn to practice to point through your toes and not curl them is pretty much through everything. So when we tendu, we want to feel lengthened, not crunched, not curled. Actually, that just caused a cramp in my foot. So it's how do we stretch through the toes and bring them back, how they leave the ground. Maybe we're jumping, but we never want to pull those toes under because then we're not creating the best line, as well as we're not creating a great way to come down and land from anything. So we're going to get into how we can do that. So let's jump right in to lengthened versus curled and what they look like. So a nice lengthened point is lengthened through the top of the foot and through, especially the big toe, but through all the toes. And a curled point would be that you continue pointing all the way until your toes pull right under. That doesn't feel so great. It actually starts to overwork the bottom of the foot and cramp the arch. So how might we practice this at home? So I like to start with a flexed foot, and we're going to lengthen and press through the balls of the feet, and then we're going to stretch the toes towards the wall, and then we can reverse this, pulling the toes up, and then we go through the full flexed. Again, the reason why this is a nice exercise is that this is how we start to leave the floor. Our foot is now either in the air in a jump, or we're in a nice tendu or dégagé, and then we're coming back and joining to the floor and pulling through. Not only is this one just great for feeling the articulation of your toes, but it can be done anywhere. So you can do this sitting on your couch, sitting on your floor, or even in the classroom before class to warm your feet up. Now that we've discussed and I've shown you what a lengthened point and a curled point looks like, I'd love to share this tip with you. So I learned this quite a few years ago when I got certified for PBT, and it has been amazing for my dancers' feet, is grab yourself a lacrosse ball. So a lacrosse ball is a little bit more dense than a tennis ball. You can get them online. But what I want to show you is you can miraculously work on improving the flexibility of your point. So not only do you want to work on this, a lot of times I get asked questions like, why do your feet go further? Anatomically, my bones are just more hypermobile, which is my ligaments and muscles and tendons. But you can improve that just like your split. So you work on stretching your split and your splits get better. So why can't we do that with our feet? Well, we can. And Marie Walton had a great way to do this. So you're going to start first sitting on the ground, and you're going to point both feet. What you're looking for is one better or worse than the other. So my right one feels nice and pointed. It doesn't feel like there's any sticking going on. My left one feels a little stuck. I've been having some issues with my tendons. And so I'm going to work on this foot to see if I can bring it equal to this foot. Typically, this works really well. So with that lacrosse ball, you're going to massage out the bottom of your arch. So through here, the side, the heel, the ball of the foot. So you can do this. It's a little easier standing up, but for now I'm just going to stay sitting, but you're going to kind of roll through. You're going to really try to get into those muscles. So we're massaging them and loosening them. Okay. Get into the toes, into the ball of the foot. Okay. So I'm going to do this a little faster. I'd probably spend a little bit more time. But then the next part is the part that was probably the most surprising to me. What you're going to do is you're going to take the lacrosse ball and you're going to prop it underneath the big toe first. You're going to kind of spread the other ones off to the side. So you're going to want to use this part of your thumb to rub against the toe. So you're going to go against the big toe. Then you can go to the next toe, kind of spread the toes apart, up and down this toe. Move to the next. You'll want to spend a little bit more time, but this will get the job done. And the fourth. And each time I'm using the ball to support the toes so I can really get a good press. There's that. So now I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna point. Yes, it did, it came down. And it feels better, oh my gosh. So I do highly recommend this. She encourages this for especially anyone starting point, because if you need to get that extra flexibility, this is the most amazing tool in the world. So hopefully that tip helped you. I hope that you found this video to be useful in answering your questions and how to use your feet in ballet class. If you have any other questions for me, go ahead and put them in the comment section below, as I would love to answer them. And make sure to hit the like button and the bell so you don't miss any future content. And remember, trust the process and enjoy your journey.